Yep, you read that right. Longest song ever. I mean, it's forever long. No, I'm just playing with you. You already know what's up. It's your boy, Spence Brown. We're back with another video talking about how I made my song Forever. So this song started when, a little while back, one of my favorite producers here on YouTube and on Instagram, Chris Punsalon, who by the way you should go check out because he has awesome sample packs. He's a really cool dude and he makes really great music. He dropped a sample pack called Forever. And so that's actually where the name of the song came from. So I went through and I found this sample in there called Spades, and I ended up chopping it up. But I'll show you what the original sample sounds like first so that you get an idea for kind of how it went down. So here's the original sample called Spades, and it sounds like this. So I heard that, and I took it and resampled it, and I got this loop from resampling it. And something interesting that I did with this loop is I actually didn't quantize it. So if you go and you look at the MIDI right here, you can see that these notes are not perfectly on the grid. You'll have some of them kind of over the lines, some of them behind the lines. So that's the main loop, that's the sample, that's how it was chopped up. That's like the main thing in the song that you'll hear the most. So next, why don't we talk about the melody? This melody I came up with a patch out of Serum. It's my little deviant sign here, and this melody sounds like this. And then I've got a version of it that comes in the verse as well, and it's filtered, and it sounds like this. So, you know, it's got a little bit off the top, like a good haircut. So since we're talking about melody, let's talk about this vocal melody as well, because it kind of acts as like a counter melody to the deviant pluck. So if the pluck is a deviant, this is like an upstanding citizen. This melody is, you know what I mean? So the way that I did the effect on this is I used auto-tune to pitch it down 12 semitones, and then it's run through like a micro shift just to widen it. And so this counter melody sounds like this. And so that starts to come in the second hook when I also bring in a double on the vocal. The first hook is just my vocal. Should about do it for melody. So why don't we... Let's talk about this hat stack next. How about the hat stack? Yeah, let's go to the hat stack. We're here in the hat stack. We are stacked up. We have a bag of hats, and let's go ahead and just take a little dive in here and see what's going on, because there's like a lot of hats in this. I feel like I say it every time, but when I produce, I go crazy on the hats. So there's a few things in here that probably won't surprise you. There is a live main hi-hat that sounds like this. And I actually think this was the song when I started doing this, where I would layer a live hi-hat and a programmed hi-hat. So you have these two together that sound like this. You can feel them kind of almost like disagreeing with each other a little bit, which just kind of adds to that chug again, you know? So, you know, we have the sample that's a little bit off time. You have these that are a little bit off time with each other, and that all just adds to, I think, this has a very unique feel to it. So we've gone over the main hats in the stack. Why don't we go over some of the other hats that we have going on here as well? So these are all of the other hats that aren't the main, like 16th, 8th note rhythm, whatever it is. We're in double time, so it's 8th note. All right, so these are all the like other hats. And so not only on this one do I have my main hat rhythm supported by a live hi-hat, I also have a roll that's supported. So this live roll on its own sounds like this, which is so dope. And then when you add in a program roll, it sounds like this. So just adding character here and there. We got these two rolls together. We got sweet rolls just like King's Hawaiian. We got the hats down. I guess they're kind of part of the drums, but I have it labeled as main drum stack. So I got an idea. Why don't we just talk about the main drum stack next? All right, so we're here in the main drum stack, and what we've got is my kick, my snare, this clap, and then another clap. When you play them all together, it sounds like this. And I added that clap at the end of the loop just to kind of spice it up, you know, just sprinkle a little in there. So with the hats and the main drums together, we now have this kind of rhythm going on. These hats, just to give them some grit, you know, just some punch. I have them running through a tape plugin, and I'm pushing them a little bit through the tape plugin so that they get a little bit of the tape distortion on them. And the same is true of these main drums. They're also going through tape. So we got those things. Why don't we talk about... I got it. Let's talk about bass next. You have two basses in this song. And the first bass is a respace out of Serum, and it sounds like this. And that goes through a parallel chain that goes to an overdrive and a decapitator and all this fun stuff over here just to add some more grit. We're all about the grit in this one. Couldn't get more southern. Man, I'm really getting used to living in the South. I'm all about those grits now. Moving on, the next bass is the 808. And as we all know, every song needs an 808. So the 808 sounds like this. And as you can hear, it's sidechained to the kick. It adds to the energy a bit as it kind of like goes up and down like that. It breathes a little bit. At this point, we'll play it from here. And what we've got is this. But if you've listened to the song, and you may not have, but I hope you have. If you've listened to it, you might be thinking, hey, something's still missing. And you're right. So next, we're gonna talk about some of the effects. All right, so I have the main effects here soloed. So why don't we talk about first this purdy vocal hey one beep. That's what we're gonna talk about. So this is just, I've heard people use this as, honestly, if you listen to this kind of vibe, but when you poke it, when you oh Lord, yes Lord, shout out Larry June, good job, hey. When you had a lot of coffee today and not much food. All right, so this little vocal here is like a little like hey, so it sounds like this. And the one time that I got to perform this song before COVID came and ruined everyone's lives, this was the one that I felt like people vibed with the most, which I was surprised by. But I shouldn't be surprised because it's a banger. I'm super humble, by the way. The next vocal I got out of a Nick Mira pack, and it's this kind of like, it's like a scream, kind of. I pitched some of them down 3 semitones, and then I wanted to pitch the other ones up an octave, so I pitched them up 9 semitones, which is 12 above minus 3. Math. Quick maths. So they sound like this on their own. And so this is what we've got so far. It's little subtle things like that I think can take a song from being pretty good to being really good. Or great, even. We only strive for greatness here on this channel, so join us in our quest for greatness. All right, and then the next effect would probably be these vocal doubles on the hook, and these are made just using stacked vocals, so you can see them down here. These are the stacks that I use to make these kind of like yelling vocals, and so on their own, they sound like this.
This forever. Yeah, you better. My endeavors.
And I have those way out on the sides so that when they come in, it makes it feel bigger. And then we've got this little kind of ad-lib thing that I think I did coming into the second verse when I was recording, and I just threw it in here. It only happens going into the second verse, but it sounds like this.
Yeah.
It's got distortion on it, it's very tuned, it's got a really cool feel to it. So, with everything together, all the effects, the bass, the stacks of hats, our hat bag, if you will, all that together, and we end up sounding like this.
This forever, nobody better than me, yeah, you better. Check the record, you'll see my endeavors. About to ship me overseas and do as I please. This forever, nobody better.
I just want to talk about this real quick. The cover art for this, actually, I made on my phone. So I was in my friend's bathroom, and he has this light fixture in there that's kind of just like a bunch of light bulbs all together, like cuddled together. And I looked in the mirror and I could see the light reflecting off of my hair. So I pulled out my phone, I focused in on the shine on my hair. So I took it in Photoshop, and in the end, I got this as my photo. And keep in mind, this was shot on an iPhone. That's all, folks. That's it. I want to thank you if you're coming back. And I want to thank you if you're here for the first time checking out my videos. Comment below if there's one specifically that you'd like to see next, or maybe there's just something that you want to see me talk about. And if you liked the video, then like the video. That's like a big brain move. If you really liked the video, why don't you just hit that little red button, wherever it is. I don't know, YouTubers always do this. Hit this button. I don't know, is that the button? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And come on back now, you hear? Because in the future, we're gonna be talking about even more stuff. There's gonna be music videos. The song is out everywhere. It's been out since 2019. You can thank me for not doing this until 2022. If you've never heard it, go take a listen if you want, and we'll be back again with another video very soon. Y'all come back now, you hear? I'm Spence Brown, and this is Forever. If this took forever, I'm sorry, and I can't give you back your time. So, all I can say is, bye!